Hello and welcome. This is Alicia of the Chardon Sign Shack coming to you live from Chardon, Ohio. I'm just trying to get my secondary device activated here. As you're hopping on, please say hello. Well, maybe. There we go. Okay. Let's see there. Okay. So as you're hopping on, please say hello. Let me know where you're coming from. If you're watching this on, if you're watching it live or on hashtag replay, if you're watching it live, up in the left-hand corner of your phone, which is always the opposite of what I point to because it's a mirror image, there'll be a little live red button. It says live. Otherwise, you're watching this on replay. And again, as you're hopping on, please say hello. Please let me know where you're coming from. Hi, April. How are you? And if you would not mind, please sprinkle. So to sprinkle, if you've never done it before, just simply means to do this. And there should be a little arrow there down in the corner. It's kind of curved and you just hit it and you can sprinkle it. Hi, Becky. How are you? Thank you so much. Sprinkling helps me grow and it helps April grow. April and Pete. I forget sometimes to say Pete. Husband and wife team there, and I'm sorry, Pete. But today the giveaway is this. We're hopping right into our Christmas crafting. I need my distance glasses. I just want to bake stuff and watch Christmas movies, which I absolutely love. Yeah, I still can't see comments down here. Well, that stinks. So I'm backwards again. And as you're hopping on, like I said, please sprinkle and you will be entered for this. And make sure, hi Heather, how are you? Make sure that you comment that you sprinkled as well. All that helps. My goal is to make the Stencil Smith just so everybody knows about it, because I truly believe they are the best company out there. I'll tell you some more facts as more people hop on. A lot of you know how great they are if you've ordered from them before, but that will be the giveaway, and it is number 5522, and it's a 7.25 inch, so it's one of the minis. It's number 1 of minis, but this is what everybody loves to do. Hi, Carol. At least that's what I like to do. I definitely like to eat the stuff. All those cookies and all that stuff. I have a really, really bad sweet tooth. I think some people either have the salty stuff, which Jeff is a salty guy. I'm the sweet person. I cannot control myself around sweets. I have a very hard time. Thank you, Stacy, for sprinkling. Hi, Judy. How are you? I think it was last week. Oh, no, I meant when I point to something, I'll be pointing, but it's opposite. It's a mirror image. It can be really hard. But thank you. I appreciate that. Because, yeah, sometimes you fix your mirror image, you flip it, and then it flips back. So I know you're salty. I'm sweet. kind of matches our personality, right, Heather? I'm going out on a limb there. Heather's my sister of Sawdust Dogs. Hi, Bonnie. How are you? So the stencil we're doing today is number 9189, and I'm doing the 18-inch round. Oh, this weather has been crazy. It's not super, it's humid, but it's 71, so it's not super hot, but it is really warm for this time of year. You like sweet and then some salty? Donna, that's like a never-ending cycle, and then you eat something salty and you have to have something sweet. Been there, done that. So, hi, Sherry. How are you? So anyhow, that's the one. Some people like to screenshot it. It is on sale today for 20% off, and if you use my code SIGNSHACK, SIGNSHACK, it's an additional 15% off. So it'd be 35% off the entire stencil, and then anything else in your order would be an additional 15%. Hi, Julie. How are you? I'm so happy you can join. I hope you're feeling better. Julie is homesick from work today. So this is an 18-inch round. This is one that I got. This is the stencil, by the way, and it's a stained glass stencil. These look fabulous. Any of these with the outline, like the Frankenstein, the Nutcracker, the stained glass. April just added, right before the live, she shared it with me, another stained glass, a Christmas tree. They look fantastic on black backgrounds. It really, really makes them pop. But again, the thing with black backgrounds is you have to do something like a white or a gray coat before you do anything to make your colors pop. So this is the round, and this is an 18-inch round from Craft Deals that I bought. I buy a whole bunch when I buy them. And this, I believe, is the 1/2 inch. I was buying 3/4 inch, and they're birch. They're very nice. But yeah, this is the 1/2 inch, and I do like these a little bit better than the 3/4 inch. They're not as heavy when they're knocking on your door. So, and they're still a really nice thickness. They're not like super, super thin. This is going to be the back of, I didn't do this on a live, but I made this last week, or maybe a couple weeks ago, I can't remember, but it goes really well with the skeleton leaner that I did, that I just flipped over and put out today. So this is a round from Home Depot, and this is one of the very first lives I actually did for the Stencil Smith. This is a beautiful one. I love this. It's vintagey. It's very vintage looking, I think. Very old-fashioned, old-worldly. But I like to put these, I make these hangers myself, and I like to put them because then I can do a double-sided one. And they're very easy to make. If you haven't seen my little reel on making these, they're easy, they're cheap to make, inexpensive. Message me and I can send you the reel. It's only a real quick reel, maybe 15 minutes, something like that. But that allows you to flip it. So when you're doing something like this, like I want to make sure when I place my stencil on the back side, just like this, that it's the right way. So when it hangs, you know, they're hanging straight. So anyhow, that's my little turkey. I love him. Thanksgiving, but we're going right to Christmas. So, and I wanted to show you, I wanted to get this finished. We did this in Christmas in July. If you missed that, if you go back to my July videos, this was our Christmas in July. And it's a beautiful stencil, and I showed you how to get like the vintage look with the scraper. And I think I used wax. I think I used the Dixie Belle wax, actually, is what I used underneath instead of candle wax. I used on that. Hi, Kim. How are you? Hi, Becca. Hi, Winnie. But it was a really, really pretty vintagey looking Christmas, and I love the colors. But I have been working, and I promise we'll get started. This is those of you that follow me, I'm doing a Halloween leaner, and my husband and I, we've been on a cedar fence picket, using all our old cedar fence pickets up, and we made this coffin that we're going to put a leaner on. It's the one, Come Rest My Weary Bones, and I stained it, and look how cool that turned out. Hi, Judy, oh, thank you. But I used some brown antiquing glaze and some black, and did it with a chippy brush, and I really, really like that weathered. It looks like it's been, which the boards were sitting out in the weather for a long time, but then we sanded them. Cedar boards are great because they don't rot. So I'll put that stuff back over here. And so we're going to make sure when we flip this over, yes, make sure to message me. Who just said that? Michelle. Message me at Chardon Sign Shack, and I will send you the reel. Lots of times there are so many, and it's the same for April and for me. We might miss people. I miss a lot of people when I'm looking down. Hi, Miss Judy. How are you? Joyce Ann, thank you. Hi, Winnie. But I'm looking down a lot stenciling, so I miss a lot of comments, and sometimes April misses. She tries to get them all. But if there's something, thank you, Julie. If there's something that you would like me to answer or April to answer, just message us and we'll answer you as soon as we can, because sometimes when I'm done with the lives, excuse me, there might be 300, 500 comments and it's really hard to go through them all, and Facebook sometimes messes them all up. So it can be really, really weird. So I'm going to flip this over, my Halloween, but like I said, I want to make sure as I'm doing the live, and I do these upside down, because this is going to be double-sided. And I did sand this. I'm going to angle you down. I did sand this and painted it with Fusion Mineral Coal Black. It's a really, really, I use the black and the casement a lot, the black and the white, and I get those in the big jugs. But this is the stencil, and it looks really, really great on a black background. Looks phenomenal. So have any of you made this one? April released it last year, and I did get it, but I didn't get a chance to do it. So let me make sure this is... Okay, and like I said, I'm doing that if you're just hopping on because I want to keep this straight. Okay, so let me, I don't know if I have a 1/2 inch, because this is going to be 3/4 of an inch. See, if you have something the same thickness, you can tape it to it, the edges. There we go. But if you don't, yeah, this is the first time I'm painting this. I wanted to, but I ran out of time. You know how you have all these, like I have just stacks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some tape because I don't have anything this thickness. And I'm just going to put a little tape like that, and I'll move it as I need to, because you don't want it shifting on you. And I am going to start with a coat of white on everything. Hi, Lita. How are you? Hello, Dorothy. I mean, we have had a really weird summer, really hot, humid summer for Northeast Ohio. And my thoughts certainly go out to everybody who's in those storm zones. The catastrophic flooding and stuff. It's just horrible. So this is a 5/8 stencil brush. And yeah, I think I'm going to start with that. So if you have not tried, April has these wonderful, wonderful stencil brushes. And they are just the best around. They're real nice and dense. Hi. Hello, Karen. How are you? So anyhow, if you're just hopping on, we've got some more. Please sprinkle. Make sure you put sprinkled in the comments. This is the giveaway today. It's a cute little mini. Be great for a towel, an apron, anything. Yeah, it's so sad. My husband and I went to Lake Lure and Chimney Rock probably about 15 years ago. We had always wanted to go there. We're big fans of Last of the Mohicans, and even though it took place in New York, the actual story, it was filmed in Chimney Rock, North Carolina. Let me make sure it's kind of about, just eyeballing it, it looks about even on the stencil. I got paint on my brush and I'm going to offload, but it's such a beautiful area and the people were so kind, and all that Main Street that you see that was flooded. We were there, we ate at the restaurants, and I'm just swirling this in here. So I am a swirler. I like to swirl, not a pouncer. And this is Deco Arts Warm White. And I use a lot of Deco Arts, some folk art, and also I do use a lot of Fusion Mineral paint, but I do like the Deco Arts for this. I'm going to show you after we get everything in. I didn't quite get that offloaded as much as I should. You want to make sure you offload really good. Don't press down hard. You know, don't press into it. You'll push it under the stencil, and I like to keep my fingers kind of like so, to give it a little bit of extra support as I'm stenciling. Oh yes, Sherry wants me to remind you guys, if you have not tried the brushes are a must. Thank you, Sherry. And this is the brush cleaner that you can get at the Stencil Smith. Oh, thank you, Karen. That's really sweet. I love Movie Days and the little heart scrubby. These are phenomenal. You won't want for anything else. The brushes, this, and she's got some liner brushes that are great, and the rake brush is amazing. So I'm going to put a coat of white down on this. Some people do not like to put white on their projects underneath. If you're doing a black background, you really do need to put something white or gray to make the colors pop, or they just will not pop on black. It's very hard to get them to pop off that black. But some people don't like to do the white or the gray because it gives it, sometimes for whatever reason, there's a little bit of an outline popping through. It doesn't bother me, but if it's something that bothers you real bad, just try to be, you know, as you're going to the edges, maybe not do it as hard, or you can always use a liner brush to correct it, or a toothpick works really good too. So when I'm getting the paint, I'm getting paint on the brush, and I'm getting more than I need if you're new. So it'll be a little, you know, like maybe shiny, gooky looking like that. You don't need a lot, and you only want it on like the tip of your brush, just to like about right there. Oh, see what I mean about a mirror image? So about right there. And then I use shop towels to offload. Just rub that into your towel and offload that. And I'm just going to give this whole base a nice coat of white. And then we'll start with the colors. And you could do this any way you want. Lots of times, sometimes I will do my own, you know, just color combos. But I will tell you this, folks. If you look at the website, April has mock-ups of all the stuff. And her colors are just phenomenal lots of times. Sometimes I've done them, some of the gnomes I've done in other colors, and I always go back and say, you know what? The colors she had there were the ones I should have went with. She puts a lot of thought into that, and she can switch it around. I don't know how she does it. It's like little magic things. And I'm just pulling that piece of tape up. And swirling in there. And again, like I said, you don't want to press down real hard. We're going to do an extra coat of white on the letters. But we're just going to do one on this. And like I said, you can use white. You can use gray, something light. And I have used a really light blue before too. And that worked real good. I'm going to put that tape back down there. And the thing about when you're putting this paint on, you're using so little that it dries really quickly. Oh, okay. I was trying to, I'm like, what did I say? April, but it's the truth. April puts a lot of thought into everything. Her and Pete both do. The company's been around since 2006, so they are definitely veterans. And their designs, they have over 10,000 designs online, so it's really amazing. The designs are just beautiful. She just added, like right before the live, a really beautiful Christmas tree that could be like stained glass, or I look at it too and it looks like you could do it in different pieces too and make a quilt out of it, like a quilted, you know, tree as well. I think that would be pretty. I'm going to go back around on these letters and give it another coat. And I don't even have to dry because I did those first. And whites can be hard to, I think that's going to be plenty dark enough though. And I'm getting a little bit more and just offloading. Oops, it shifted a little bit. It's always good to notice that. I didn't have that taped down good before you start stenciling again. Because then you add up with like a shadow looking thing, like a drop shadow on your stuff. Usually if it's fresh paint and you haven't, if you haven't dried it or it hasn't dried very long, you could take a wet wipe and wipe it off. That usually works pretty good there. I need to get a little bit more white. And then I think we'll move on to the other colors. Hi, Cindy. How are you? Oh, I'm so glad you could join us. Thank you so much for sprinkling. I appreciate it. And again, if you're just joining, this is the giveaway today. So make sure you sprinkle and make sure you sprinkle and write sprinkled in the comments just like Cindy just did. We appreciate it very much. Sometimes it's hard for those small companies to get any notice. Like even me as a business page, I've noticed lately my algorithm's down, and you know, they send you these notifications, it's down this much percent or this or that. And I've decided not to stress about it. I really enjoy what I do. I love the friends I've made. And whatever is going to be is going to be. Of course I want to grow. Of course I want April to grow, the stencil smith. But I'm not going to stress over it because I don't think it's worth it. But it is a shame. I think they push you because they want you to take out ads. Okay, I think that looks good. That's a good, nice white. So we've got the base, and this is, I used that earlier. Let me get another baggie, guys. Oh, I got to break into my new box of baggies. And when I'm not using my stencil brush, I don't think I'll need this white again, but I may. So I like to take either a damp paper towel or a wet wipe and just kind of wrap it in there. Put it in there so it keeps your brush damp. It is hard. It is hard. I've been doing this for a while, and I'm getting really close to 5,000 followers, so I'm very excited about that. So let's start. Let's see, what am I going to start with? I dropped an old plate there. I got stuff everywhere. So I think I'm going to start with the purples. And, okay. So let's see, I've got some purple here. I've got this dioxazine purple. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I do tend to butcher things. I'm going to put that out. I'm going to start with my purples and my pinks, I think. And what's great about the Stencil Smith brushes too is the smaller ones are great for these kind of things so you don't have to tape stuff off. And I'm going to use like a hot pink. Yep, Julie is a very, very old customer. She makes Christmas creations, and her work is beautiful. This might be really thick. I haven't used that one very often. So I'm going to start with the purple, And let me, where are my brushes at? Here they are. So I think I'm going to start with these little, not the smallest, but the 3/8. Coming to do a ladies conference. I'm trying to read a comment here. Oh, that would be wonderful. Oh, does Pete do stained glass? Is that, I think I'm missing part of the conversation. Yes, I'm going to use that as a color and a highlight color. So I think I'm going to try and move this onto the letters now and tape it down just like so. And I'm going to get this purple here and offload it. And I think I'm going to, so see how nice that is? Just going around there. It just, I didn't have to tape any of that off, any of the star off. It just goes right around there. And I'm just getting a little bit more purple. And I'm offloading it. And see, this purple would be so hard to see on this black if you didn't have this white underneath. It would be very, very hard to see. Let's see. I think I want to do that with more pink and purple on the outside. I'm going to do it. And that one. So I'm going to dry brush some pink on some of these with the purple, and then on some other ones I'm going to make it a pink and dry brush purple around it. And you can highlight and do that with your stencil brushes. And it's super cool and super easy. Let's see, I think I'm going to leave this one for a pink one. I'm definitely going to have more purple than pink. So I'm just getting this first coat on there. There's his little head. I think I'm going to have this, some pink there. I got to be careful. I mean, I can always paint over it. If I went over his head, I could just paint over it with a color. Baby Jesus's little head, but I don't want to. Let's see, do that in purple. Yellows, blues, and greens. Yes, there are lots of marbled looking glasses, which I'm trying to do on a couple of these. Like that one right there. Let's see, that's the star. And I just think it's really, you can make it your own. I know Julie's done one of these, and I know Tammy Keck has too. I think that's her robe right there. And some of these I'm just going around the edges. Let's see. Okay, I want to do that in pink, bring that down in some purple, and I'm going to have to do another coat of purple, of course, but I think I'll go and put a coat of pink on. Let's see. I think this is part of his robe. And I'm going to do that kind of in pink there. Okay, so I'm going to throw some pink on here. I think I've got all the little... Okay, so let me find my baggie, which I threw a piece of wood over. And I'm going to do some pink while the purple's drying a little. So let's get another small brush. And I'm going to get another one of my 3/8 brushes. I hope this pink's okay. I haven't used it in a long time. Yeah, I think it's going to be okay. Okay, so I'm gonna... And this is a really, really bright pink. I don't know what it's folk art. Bright pink, huh? Can someone explain, let's see, the brush that she is using? So this is a stencil brush, and for the smaller pieces, like I have this 3/8 brush, and then the very smallest is a 1/4 inch. So this would be the 3/8, and I use that with the purple, and this is the very tiniest of brushes. And when I do the star, you'll see how easy that is to get in there. You can also use, if you're new and you're unsure, these pieces of flashing, you can get them on Amazon and you can lay them down so you don't get it on your other. But these brushes, I hardly use these anymore. I used to use them a lot before, and you don't have to waste the tape taping off. Let me put that brush down and get back to some pink here. But welcome to the world of stenciling. It is a fun hobby. Have you done many pieces yet? Or you're just brand new starting? They're the very best stencil brushes there are. I believe so. Let me give this a really good shake. And you do want a thicker bodied paint. The one paint I would never recommend starting with, it can be good for blending, like if you're doing floating and stuff like that, but is the apple barrel paint from Walmart. It's very thin. So that can be very, it can get underneath. The thinner your paint, you want a dry brush. That's the key to stenciling. That's why you're getting a little bit of paint on your brush, just like that. And then you get, I prefer shop towels. Some people use coffee filters, or they use paper towels. Some people use paper plates, but I don't think you get as much off on a paper plate as you do. I don't think you get as much off on a paper plate as you do with shop towels or a napkin. Sorry, guys. I start thinking about things and then I don't, I lose my train of thought. Okay. Now I want to go back and do some purple. And this is going to take a couple of coats. Get some more of that dioxide purple. And I think I'm going to do a dry. Give it a little bit of a dry. Now I have thinned my paint down and made actual stained glass with stencils, which maybe we should do that for a live one day. That would be fun, with embossing paste and then watering down my paint and painting it like a watercolor. And it makes a really pretty stained glass on a piece of glass, like from a picture frame or something like that. It's very pretty. I haven't done that in a long time. That would be fun to do. Okay, get another coat of this purple on here. Gonna really make it pop. That second coat. Yeah, we've had days and days of clouds here. We got just a wee little bit of rain from the hurricane, not much. On the very like outskirts of it. We always get a little bit, it seems like. We're still very dry here. We haven't had a lot of rain. I know Judy, I don't know if she's still on or not. She lives in like the Huber Heights area, like the Columbus area in Ohio, if you're familiar with Ohio at all. And she, I believe it was last week, had to get off our live because there was a tornado warning, and she had a couple more, I think, that night. So this weather's been kooky. But it's so sad, yeah, about those people. Okay, let's add some more purple here. So let me tell you a little bit about the Stencil Smith, especially if you're new. Like I said, they're an older company. They might be one of the oldest ones out there. They are, they formed in 2006. They're a husband and wife team, April and Pete. And everything is made in America, from the brushes to the stencils. They're all cut to order. There's many different sizes that you can order. So this is an 18-inch, but you can also get it in other different sizes. You don't have to get, them in the size I get. If you want a smaller round, some people like them smaller. I just always like the bigger ones. I like a bigger, kind of bigger presence on the doors. And we got to add the pink here, some more purple. I think I got to get over here. So could you imagine how long this would take if you had to tape all these off? This would take forever. So we're so lucky. The Stencil Smith has a lot of stencils that have overlays, which are amazing, and makes taping over. I believe like this one right here, there's overlays. So like you would put it back on and do the stars and the whiskers and the eyes and everything, so you don't have to keep taping things off. Okay, so I'm gonna get that pink again and throw some more pink on there. But yes, a green and red would be really pretty too. The Stencil Smith. Are you talking about the cleaner? And you can dry over your stencils, just be careful to move it around. Don't let it just sit there. Yeah, this is the cleaner right here, the brush cleaner. Yes, the overlays are phenomenal. And then that's the little scrubby, if that's what you were talking about. They have quick shipping. Like today, it'll be kind of the end of the day here in Ohio, which is where the Stencil Smith is based out of, as well as me. And so they'll be going home. But tomorrow they'll get in bright and early, and they'll cut all your stencils, and they'll have them in the mail. It's just really, really nice. It's just a great company. You can't ask for better customer service. They can make different sizes for you if there's a size that doesn't work for you. We've been planning, April and I were chatting today and planning some fun, very fun projects coming up. I do believe they're going to be fun. Oops. That's the hardest part, the planning. I think. I have so many plans for so many things, and then I don't know what happens. Like the coffin that I have behind me that I was working on this week, that was meant for last year. And it's like, you know, you have those unfinished projects. They just go wherever unfinished projects go until next year. They're just looking at you so sad because you didn't get them finished, but there's just not enough time in the day. Not enough time in the day for sure. That pink is not covering super good. Okay, I may let that dry a little bit, and we're going to go on to Joseph and the baby Jesus and all that. Let me put my stencil in here. Or not my stencil, my brush. I think I'm going to do... This color is really pretty. I haven't used it yet. It's called Baby Duck. I think I'm going to use that for the star. I should not do that with my teeth. I don't know why these things are so hard to get off. Sorry guys, I should have had, this is Deco Arts Baby Duck. I should have had this off. I don't know where my razor knife went. That usually gets them really good, but get a little slit on it. There we go. Sometimes my grandson comes over and he just, Finn, he's like, oh, that looks fun, and away it goes. I know. What's funny is, so my dad's name is Donald, and when I was born, many, many, many years ago, in 1965, now I'm going to use the real thin brush for this, the thinnest we have, the 1/4 inch. That's what everybody called me, because my dad they called Duck. Everybody had nicknames back in that. Back then, they just all had nicknames, and I'm going to do this Baby Duck here. And see how I don't have to tape that off, but that was my nickname growing up forever. I still have relatives that I see and they're like, hey, Baby Duck, how you doing? It's like I'm almost 60. Okay, I haven't used that yellow before. We're going to need another coat of that, but we'll let that dry and just set that brush in there. And we'll go on to Mary, and I think I'm going to do her and then brush some light over top of it. So I think her base, wait, this is Mary over here. I'm going to do her robes in this turquoise blue right here in Deco Arts. Let me see if I can get that to work again. My secondary things all froze up. It's hard to see where everything's at. Okay. I'm going to get another 3/8 here. I hope this is dark as I thought it was going to be. So see, that's her hair, her face, hair. It's her robe. And I wanted it to be a little bit brighter than that, but I guess maybe the second coat it'll be a little bit brighter. Sometimes you have to think on these stained glass things, or you can refer back to your picture. I think that's her hand right there. And this is all part of her robe. So has anybody been doing any shows lately? I know all the fall shows, actually we'll be heading into Christmas shows. I know my friend Julie, she's preparing for her Christmas show. Ooh. Okay. I am going to go over here and I'm going to do Joseph. And I think, let me get a drink here, guys. Yeah, the scrubby is a lifesaver, Maggie. If you don't have it, I would throw it in your next order. So let's go to Joseph here. And I want to do his robe. I don't know if I want to do espresso. I think I'm going to save that for his hair. So I think his robe and the cradle. I think I'm going to save this for the hair. Okay, so this is traditional burnt umber. It's a very, very dark brown. Welcome to the sheet show. Oh, that's such a fun one, Peggy. I love that one. It never fails to get a laugh, right? So I'm going to make his robe. I'm going to start with this burnt umber, this darker brown here. Ooh, I don't know if I like that. Let me see. I don't know if that's too close. I think this is the burnt umber. I guess I'm going to give it a try. I'll put that over there. Maybe after the second coat, I'll like it better. I am going to highlight it up too. Let's see, beard, so the robe. Can you believe it's October 1st already? I don't know where September went. So we've been, I've been doing all kinds of things. If you've been following me around, you're watching my lives, I've been doing a butler's pantry in a small bedroom that we have upstairs next to our kitchen. And we started on the base today. But I have been going through stuff, and I didn't have it all in my office, but we've also been cleaning our attic up because we have to make knee boards up there for the roof. And it's silly to pay somebody to do it when we have the tools and we can do it ourselves. But so we're, let's see, this is part of the robe, I do believe. And so we've been doing those knee boards, and, or we haven't done the knee boards, but I found these checks. I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out where I'm going. Okay, so this is going to be his little basket here. And I'm going to do that in the same color. But I found checks. So we got married in 1985. That's a long time ago. I found actually the first checks that we had ever, I guess I thought I had to save everything. you know, it's just amazing what you hoard. We've never moved. So I guess, you know, and I was reading all the stuff you have to keep, and that's definitely not one of them. You know, back then you had to, that was even before debit cards, you had to write checks for everything. And you might have to hold, because these bridges, they're not super thin, but like when there's not something attaching them, they can move a little bit. So you might want to hold them down just a little bit. And let's get their flesh color on. And then we'll go back and do some more coloring. Excuse me. Maybe we'll work on the purples and the pinks and the yellow. Okay, what do I need here now? I need the flesh color. So I'm going to use this warm beige here. Deco Arts, which is a really nice, well, apparently I haven't shredded anything. Whose birthday is it? Oh, happy birthday, Bonnie. Yeah, apparently I've never shredded anything. So I'm going to use that for that. And for the hair and the beard, I'm going to use this lighter brown, which is Espresso. I don't have this one open either. Sorry, guys. Yeah, we got a lot of birthdays this month. My grandson's was the day before mine, then mine. My daughter's was a couple days ago, the 28th, and then my son's is October 7th. I got to get his card in the mail or he's not going to get anything because he's all the way out in California. So this is Espresso. So let's put a little bit of Espresso. This is like a lighter, you can see as I put it down, it's lighter. I don't know if you can tell the difference there between the burnt umber and the light brown. And I'm going to get a little guy for this. This is the 1/4 inch. And that's the brown I went into. I'm going to do the beard. And the hair. And you can't tell that much of a difference now. Let's see, and her hair, which I think is there. And that's her face, so we're gonna come around here. And I think that's some of her hair there, and that right there. Okay, and let's do the, I'll put this in my bag, which I continue to lose. I'm working in a very small space here. It's not as hard when I'm by myself. I don't know if I have any of the, oh, I have lots of little bitty ones left. So I'm going to take the 1/4 inch again, and I'm going to get in this flesh color, which is warm beige. That's a really nice flesh color. And that's his hand and the baby head. And Mary's face there. Okay, so let's go back and throw some more of that yellow, that baby duck on that. That must be it there. And I'm going to get my purple and my pink brush, and we're going to do some dry brushing. Okay. I got a fly in here buzzing around me. You know what? I think I might just go back and do the other colors, and then we'll start dry brushing everything to like do some shading. How does that sound? We'll finish that off. Let me just take a peek how that's, oh, that looks good. Okay. So we'll go back and we'll do the blue, I think is what we'll do now. I don't know what that was. Oh, that might have been the beige. That's probably the beige. No, that was the yellow. I messed that one up. Okay, so let's go back to the blue, this Whispering Turquoise. I'm still not sure. Let me see. Let's see how that looks against that. Nah, I think I'm going to do one more. I'm going to stick with this. Sometimes I get color fatigue when there's a lot of colors. It can be really hard when there's a lot of colors. So I'm going to put a second coat on that. We'll get this all done up nice. And then we'll come back and we'll do some dry brushing. With the stencil brushes. Thank you, Lita. Oh, thank you, Joyce Ann. I get very nervous when I have to use like more than 2 or 3 colors. Okay, let's go and do the Burnt Umber, which is that one because that's the darkest one. And we had that on his robe. Oh, that must be my neighbor. It's so much noisier now when I'm out here doing my lives, and I still have my garage door open because school is back in session. So we live on the same, just a couple, not very far, maybe a quarter mile from the high school. We live on the same street as the high school. It's kind of cool though. We can hear like the band practicing in the summer. We can hear them at the football games. All that stuff is kind of nice, I think. I would miss it. My husband has always, when we first got married, we rented a place out in the country. It was on like a bunch of acres. I mean, it was out in the middle of nowhere. And I mean, it was okay. But then when we bought our house, we got something in town, which I loved because we were close to, like, you could walk to the library, you could walk to the schools. It has a town square. Just like last week, they do a lot of things on the square. They have trunk or treat. They had a Gilmore Girls party, you know, bring your girlfriend and shop, and it was just a lot of fun. Very neat, but they do a lot of neat stuff like that on our square. But Jeff is always wanting to move me like out to the country, and I'm like, I don't want to go. He's like, he wants to move out in the middle of a bunch of acres somewhere, and I just don't want to do it. Plus, I don't know how often you guys have moved, but I have really been in 2 houses my whole life. Well, no, 3. The one we rented for a while, but the house I grew up in, the one we rented for a couple years before we were able to buy, and then this one. And we've been here since 1987, so to me, I think I'm one of those people that's very sentimental, and it would be kind of traumatic. Oh yeah, go back in and out, Rhonda, to move. And I am sorry, this whole thing has changed. Well, hi Cindy, how are you? With the secondary device, and it's much harder for me to see the comments because the comments are now on my phone. And I don't know, Cindy, if that has happened to you. Like, I use my phone to record and the iPad is my secondary device, but now everything is, I can't see the comments on my iPad. It just shows, like, when I go to look at comments, it says, do you want to follow the Shard and Sign Shack, which I'm the owner of it, so I don't understand it. And I haven't been able to figure it out. And you can't get any help. Okay, I'm going to put that and get the lighter brown. But it's very frustrating because I do like to chat with people. That has been one of the nicest things about this job and doing this, is meeting all of you folks. It's just been a really big blessing. I've made so many friends, and I really do consider you guys my friends. It's been an awesome, awesome experience, and I would not trade that. I'm going to have to get another little brush because I dipped my wrong brush. My flesh-colored brush, I dipped it in the yellow. So let's get some more flesh color on here. And you always want to offload if you're new. That is the biggest key I can tell you to getting really nice crisp lines is offloading. And these brushes make a huge difference too. Let's see here. I do want to do this burnt umber and the yellow one more time real quick, but I think everything else is good, and then we'll start doing some dry brushing. You don't know how to fix it? Does yours work the old way now, Cindy, or not? Oh, I saw your quilt, Becca. It's just gorgeous. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. And like I said, you can dry over your stencil. Just make sure that you move it around. Don't put it in one spot. Let me get that burnt umber again, because that's really been difficult. That's the burnt umber, I do believe. You know how some colors are just difficult. And you have to make sure your paint dries in between. So if you're new, I know there was a girl that was new to stenciling. If you do not dry your paint in between coats, all you'll do is move it around. It just pushes it around your project. Okay. I'm going to get a little bit more on the basket there. And I think one more coat on the star, maybe. Yeah, so we're working on this butler's pantry, and it's going to be really cool when it's done. But it's just shocking how much you save in your lifetime. And what's really sad is when I went up in the attic, my attic was because we have junk day in town once a year, and it was September 20, I think it was the 28th. And so we just threw out a bunch of stuff that we had saved. I don't know why. Of course, I shredded the things, but then I also found like my dad's tax returns, my mom's tax returns. stuff that you don't have to, yeah, because I've been reading, like, how long do you save this stuff? And my mom's passed away. She's been gone since 2014 now. So I've been doing a lot of shredding. Get a little bit more of this baby duck here. Okay. And so the blue, let's see. Let's do the purple and the pink right now. So I'm going to get some of this pink on my brush, and I want to offload it really good. And, oh, I don't think I did that one twice. If I did, it didn't show very good. And you can just start like just dry brushing real lightly. Just like so. And it just adds like a little dimension, like where the light might be hitting it. I don't really like how I did that. Let's see how it looks when I pull it up. I feel like I didn't do that very well. So let's... And they're kind of in the middle. I'm just kind of like making it a little bit lighter. But I don't know if you can see how that's just like, it just adds, and you don't have to put like a whole lot just to do some highlighting. And it doesn't matter like where you're putting it. It's just making it kind of glow. Can you see how that's looking? A little bit on the purples where I've like glowed it up like here and here. Here. Yes, it'll be much more seeable when I lift the stencil off. Right now it's not as easy, and this gives you an idea. It looks so much better with the black. So this is what it would look like with white. But I never thought, Beck, I was just thinking, and I thought, wow, this would be a really cool, any of these ones that are stained glass, that could be a cool quilting pattern. What do you think? Because you're a quilter, I am not. Her hand needs to be flush. Ah! Right there, right? Thank you, Sherry. I will change that in a minute. See, it's very easy to get confused. And somebody might have been telling me, flesh, flesh. And I didn't see it in the comments. So thank you, Sherry. I appreciate that. Trust me, I still mess up like all the time. It happens. super fond of those that I did, because the line's too harsh. I'm not liking that. But let's see what we can do with the purple brush. And I do need to do some flush there. Thank you very much, Sherry. Right there. And I'll probably have to do a second coat. Huh. Where'd my purple brush go? I may have, oh, here it is. Got too many things everywhere. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to do a little highlighting on that pink with this purple. I'm going to try and make that line not so harsh there. I didn't like how that happened. I wish I would have just done the solid colors. Because you don't want a really harsh line. There, I'm kind of dry brushing over that pink to like not make it so noticeable. The harshness of that line. Like right there. Got to go over that. Right here. Just kind of like that. And then I'm going to add a little bit of purple. And I'm going to add just a little bit to this star too. Just kind of around like the edges. Ooh, that looks pretty. And I'm going to need to do a little bit, another little flesh on the hand. Okay, so let's go to the blue. And I want to take this light blue, it's a spa blue, and I'm going to highlight this blue. And let me get another. So it's a much lighter blue, and you could also take this blue and you could add white and make a lighter value. So I'm just going to offload that. And I'm just kind of using the brush and just lightly swirling it in there a little bit. I need a little bit more. And this kind of gives it the look like maybe, you know, the sun's coming in and hitting it at different angles. It's really pretty. And it softens that dark, really brightness up a little bit. Okay, so let's do some of this. I'm going to use, should I use I think I'm going to use some of this fawn to highlight on his robe and the basket a little bit. And I will just use my brush that I previously had in this, in my fawn. There we go. And again, you just want to really get it nice and dry. And the same kind of thing. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't know. Let's see. That looks pretty good. I do need, I'm going to get my, and the thing is, if you don't, like if you get it harsher than you think you want it, get your brush and add a little bit more of that burnt umber back into it. Okay, and I want to use a little bit of that on the basket. Kind of in the middle, going out. And I want to use a little bit around the beard maybe. And I'm just kind of dragging it. I'm not swirling that in there. I'm just kind of dragging that. And I'm going to do the same for Mary over here. And then I want to take a little bit of the brown. Let's see, this is not the burnt umber. I didn't use that one. The espresso, I think, is what it is. And, I mean, I want it really, really offloaded good. And just kind of drag a little bit, like down the one side. Just a little bit, like it's a shadow. I think I took too much off. And I'm just kind of swiping that back and forth. And all this just adds interest. Little bit of dimension, makes it look like the light's hurting, or the light's hitting it different ways. Might even add some more right there. Let me see what I think. Oh, I really like it. Okay. I think I am gonna have to, oh, no, I think that's gonna be good. The big reveal. So here we go. What do you think? Is that not super cool? Do you like that? And all that, you know, just mixing with the brushes, like the dry brushes. Thank you, Joyce Ann. It looks a lot better off the white, doesn't it? But it just gives it some interest. See, even on the star, you can just barely see it around their faces. You know, just like the light's coming through and hitting it. And see how that blue, that really softened it up. And it's just super easy. Thank you, Tammy. Tammy did one, and hers was absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Cindy. But I really like that. So, This is what we have, and I will close my bridges. It's almost 5:30, so I'm not going to do that on the live. I do that almost every time when I do a live, but thank you, April. There we go. I don't want them crooked, but yeah, I really like that. I think that's just beautiful. Oh, thank you, Leah. I appreciate that. Thank you, Lita. So that is my project today, and this one will be on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off. And you can save an additional 15% with my code SIGNSHACK. Tammy did 5 of them. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Judy. You're so sweet. So Tammy did 5 of these. I remember she got a lot of orders for this last year for Christmas, but I really think that turns out beautiful, and it wasn't even that hard to do. And like I said, if you don't like something you've done, just go back in with your color, because I wasn't super happy with these because the line was so harsh, and I just kept working with it until it wasn't quite so harsh. So, oh, yours were smaller. Okay. See, that's the great thing too. Like Tammy did these, she did 5 of them. She did smaller sizes. I like doing the 18-inch sizes. But yeah, that is beautiful. And that'll make I think that would be a really very nice seller at Christmas time. If I'm freezing up, you would love to, oh, metallics would be beautiful, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it, Tammy? Why don't you do one in metallics? I would love to see it. So I'm going to set this down. I am going to show you a couple of things. I'm going to put my brushes in water. Don't let them soak really long in the water. And usually, see how little water I have in there? I don't like to, yeah, mine is 18 inches, Rhonda. I heard that, Heather. See, Heather's my sister. She's like, I am a great gift for your sister. Well, you are coming up on Friday, so we're going to get some crafting in. But I like, so it's not above the, I think this is called the finial. Or not finial. Is that what it's called? Ferrule. This is the ferrule. I'm thinking of finial caps. So the ferrules, I don't like it to go up over that, and just put it in just so like the tips of them are in, you know, where the paint's at. You don't have to put it up all the way up on your brush. It's not good for it. But I will clean them like right after my live. Ferrule, thank you. I was thinking finial caps is what I was thinking, April. But I was close. So this is on sale, and I'm going to show you a couple things. I haven't gotten really any new new Christmas things, but these are some that I pulled up that are just absolutely gorgeous. You may or may not have not seen, but they are just beautiful. So if there's a lot of your back, oh, and make sure if you're just joining, please sprinkle, which means to do this, and write sprinkled in the comments, because this is the giveaway today, and it's number 5522, and it's the 7.25 inch one. Thank you, Karen. Yeah, we're into our Christmas crafting now. Full force. Christmas and winter. So this is, those of you that love kitty cats, this is Comfort and Joy. And it's a real pretty cat, real cute little cat in a stocking. Or no, it's in a Santa hat. I'm trying to find the number on it. The numbers are always on it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's really cute, isn't it? That's what I want to do. Eat and watch movies. 8516. And this is a small. But all of you cat lovers out there, or you might have somebody who loves cats, like my grandson. He has his cat Phil, and they snuggle, and they just love cats. That would be a cute Christmas gift as well. And I'm going to set that aside. And then this is just so true. Treetops glisten and children listen to nothing. Children listen to literally nothing. Isn't that adorable? I think that's so cute. I saw a couple people did that last year. I did not get a chance to, but I do want to make that for my daughter this year. That's 9139, and this is a small. It would make a really cute little pillow. This one would. So I'm going to set that aside. And then we have, this is gorgeous. I made these last year on pillows. This is number 8560. And that was a good seller. Judy says that was a really good seller for her last year. So that's always good to know. Look how gorgeous that is. The reindeer and the snowflakes, the star in the middle of the Christmas tree. It's just gorgeous. Very old, vintagey looking, I think. It's very pretty. And then this one is equally as gorgeous. I made this one into a pillow too last year. This was number 8553, and this is a 12-inch. Oh, thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. Merry Christmas. Look how pretty that is. Look at all just the gorgeous, gorgeous detail in that. The font alone, just the font is stunning. I just absolutely love it. Okay, let me get a sip of water and I'll show you a couple more. Yeah, I tend to like the really funny ones, the fun ones. And then this is another one that is along the same lines. Let's see if I can find the number. For whatever reason, there we go. This is number 8467, and this is a 12-inch. And this is the background, and then this is the over. You can see how joy is written in it. And then you could also use this joy for something else if you wanted. And then the overlay of joy goes over top of it, but that is just gorgeous. Yeah, April and Pete are so talented. So talented. So that's two-piece. So when I talked about an overlay earlier, because some people don't realize what an overlay is, but that is the overlay. And it'll tell you overlay. Sometimes it'll say overlay 1, 2. And then the numbers are on, if there's two pieces, there'll be two numbers, number on this, number on that, and it'll say two pieces, so you'll know if they get separated, because it happens. And then this one, I never did get this one made last year, but it is a goal this year. I want to put this one, I think on a sweatshirt. This one I think is too big for a sweatshirt. I'd have to get a smaller size, maybe. I don't know. I think it'd be okay. But I like them really thick and sprucey. Is that not adorable? And then you've got the overlay. That's the snow on the trees. How cute is that? That would be gorgeous. I think Heather, that happened to me, so you're not the only one. Yes, sometimes the overlay, I don't have one out, but the overlay could be like, I did the skeleton. So the skeleton that's on the back side of this, I did that. And like the little eyeballs, oops, got a little piece of blue on it. We're up here on the stencil, so it wasn't a separate stencil, but it was on, the same stencil, but it was the overlay. So she's saying that confused her. So this, I think this is just really cute though. Did she? That's so cool. I think Sherry Crumbcaker made this into a shirt. It was really cute. I may be mistaken, but I think she did. And that's another thing. If you haven't joined our Paint and Share with Stencil Smith, please make sure to. And then we did do these on lives last year, I think. And I just thought I would show them again. If you don't have them or didn't get them, they were really cute. And I've used this Santa's sleigh for a couple other things, but this is 7904, and this is the 18-inch, and it's really pretty with the stained glass windows. but it's got a big moon, and it's Believe in the Magic. And I have, like I said, I have used the sleigh. I used it for, I think, a reindeer name sign. And, but this was a really pretty round. We did that last year on Alive. It was really pretty. That is awesome, Carol. Did you see that, April? Her dancing skeletons were a big hit at her show. See, there's some things, that's the one thing about extra parts in the overlays, the better. That's the thing about April and Pete's stuff, the Stencil Smith. They are so clever. They're so unique. A lot of them are very, very funny ones. And you too, Bonnie. And they are just like this one. So I love this one. I did this one last year. Welcome to our Jolly Nut House, which if you're a fan of Christmas Vacation, this is a phenomenal one. And that goes on around too. I've still got mine. I did not get rid of that. I like it too much. It was my favorite. But this is number 7814, and this is the 18-inch. I like the 18-inch rounds. So that's like, if you are a fan, that's one of my very favorite Christmas movies, and I love all the Christmas Vacation stuff. So it's really cool. So I'm going to set that aside, and that is all I have to show you today. And this is what we did. Oh, come let us adore him, Christ the Lord. And it is on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off. And you'll save an additional 15% with my code SIGNSHACK, SIGNSHACK. And you can use that code anytime to, thank you, Judy. Sherry's bringing the drums out. This is the giveaway. But you can use my code anytime that you want to save 15%. And this is the giveaway. And so April is going to spin the wheel here pretty soon. And as soon as she does, we will have a winner. Oh, thank you, Rhonda. She will spin the wheel. And if you have any, that one's number 5522. Thank you, Maggie. If you have any questions, please. That's awesome, Carol. What glow-in-the-dark paint did you use? If you have any questions, message me or message April. And the winner is Joyce Ann Van Pelt. You are the winner today. Congratulations. I wish everybody could win, but we'll have another giveaway next week. And we'll have another fun live. We have something fun planned for next week. And you guys have a great day. That's okay, April. We got it. I don't know why we're having troubles today, but congratulations, Joyce Ann. Make sure you message April at the Stencil Smith or email her at info@thestencilsmith.com. You're welcome, Joyce Ann. Everybody have a great day. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.